I wanted to go really briefly into how to count cards. It's a common misconception that to a lot of new players that like a card counter is required to like count every single card that's coming up, and that's really not how it works. It's a lot simpler than that, and basically I'll go into the most simple method is a high-low system, where as the cards come out, then point values are given to all of those cards. So for here, I'm just going to deal out 5 hands. So in the case here, all the 10s and aces, in the case we don't have any aces here, but the 10s would be considered -1. Right, and the reason why it's a minus is that 10s are generally good for the player. So when they come out, then the rest of the shoe just gets a little bit worse. Right, and then we have cards 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, those are considered these are considered good cards to come out in the beginning, and so these have a point value of +1. So all the other cards, which would be a 7, 8, 9. Those are considered neutral because they don't really help you that much. They don't really hurt you that much. So in the case here, these 2 cards would make this this shoe right now -2. Then this would go to -3, -4. This is a +1, so it goes back to -3. Right? These cancel each other out because you got one high and one low. Is -3. And then we've got these 2 here, -1. And then this is neutral. So, generally as the shoe goes on, it's going to skew into positive or negative territory. And when the count gets really, really positive, then generally a lot of card counters, what they'll do, they would put more money on their bets so that, because they know that the shoe here, is rich in the 10 value cards that's going to make the money. In the case where it's extremely negative, what people do is, well, generally, card counter, when the card count gets negative, they don't play because it's not very good for you. But if they do, they play the bare minimum, or sometimes what they'll do, they'll kind of vary their play because they figure, okay, well, it's a whole bunch of low cards coming up, so they may hit a 17 where they normally wouldn't, or like a 12 versus it's like another card here, versus like say if versus a 5. Right, where he knows that the shoe is a little bit cooler with the small value cards. Normal basic strategy says he would leave that alone, but he may consider hitting that if he's counting cards. And then that's a very basic very basic on how to count. It's about plus and minus, and when it gets to to a certain predetermined point, determining exactly how you're betting and your strategy and all, would determine how big your bets get, and that's card counting.